This is your Ohio State availability report for the Buckeyes game against number 3 Oregon. Normally do this is part of a big full pregame show. Get to release it a little early today, and we're going to be doing an actual full pregame show when we get to Eugene in just a little bit. So as for now, you're going to get just sort of an update on who is not available for Ohio State, who is a game time decision. Friends, it is not going to take very long. This is good news for the Buckeyes. TC Caffey, season-long injury, he's out. We knew he was out before we got on the plane. End of list. Ta-da, that's it. One player, TC Caffey, who has been out for the whole season. That's it. So, Tony Gerdeman, this feels like exceptionally good news for an Ohio State team going into its biggest game of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And not to throw things off to the side, Tom, you could title this video Buckeyes without running back for Oregon, something to that effect. Buckeyes will not have a running back, something to that effect to address some of the Quinshon Judkins rumors. But I don't want to...
Yeah, well, let's talk about the Quinshon Judkins rumors for a minute, because there has been this very persistent rumor about a broken hand for a number of days. He's not on the availability report. We saw the team coming into the hotel on Friday. He did not have a cast on his hand. He was holding... you shot the video. You tell people what you saw.
He had a cell phone and something in his left hand. His right hand, there's nothing on it. He, gave somebody a 5, slapped hands, and he seemed okay. He was smiling, and, he's not on the list. He looked fine. They didn't make any attempt to hide anything. So...
Well, and you could make an argument, okay, well, maybe it was the subterfuge that he wasn't going to put a cast on until he walked into the hotel. He was carrying a water bottle and keys and a phone in his left hand, so that you would assume be fine, and gave someone a fist bump or a high five or something with the other hand. So that felt like that would have been rather elaborate subterfuge to be covering up a secretly broken hand. So from all available information that we have right now, the rumor is not true, or is not, if it is true, he's hiding it well, and it's not expected to impact the Buckeyes game against Oregon on Saturday, later today.
Right.
So that's all good news for the Buckeyes. One of the more interesting pieces of injury news / rumor / reporting is on the Oregon side of things, and Oregon has not put out their availability report yet. However, Jordan Burch, defensive end, very impressive player, someone that the Buckeyes were talking about a bunch during interviews this week about what a potential difference maker he could be for the Ducks. There's been reporting out of Oregon sources that he may have suffered some kind of an injury in practice on Thursday. And then how serious is it? Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends, and the severity depends on the reports rather than the actual injury. if in fact there is one. It sounds like there is one, but possibly not as bad as at first was rumored, but rumors really, really pick up steam. It only takes just one little note of, he fell down and boom, it's like they had to call in the vet, basically. So we will see. We'll see what how forthcoming Oregon is. Is this a game time, a questionable, rather than an out, knowing all along that he's not going to play. But we'll see. I would be pretty surprised if he doesn't play, unless clearly he can. This is one where, if you can go in any way, you're going to go, especially when you are one of the key players. They need him out there. We know they missed their star defensive end the last time they played Ohio State, and it didn't seem to bother them.
Yeah, that was Kayvon Thibodeau a couple of years ago, and he ended up, he was, a top 5 pick, I think, in the NFL draft, went to the Giants, and he didn't play in that 2021 game, and as soon as that came out and you saw him on the sidelines without shoulder pads during warm-ups, it was like, oh boy, they're doomed.
Well,
they were not, in fact, doomed. We'll see how things go with Jordan Burch later today. Obviously, you would hope that he is able to play. You would love for this game to be a fully healthy Ohio State, a fully healthy Oregon, because this is shaping up to be one of the biggest games of the college football regular season, quite possibly the biggest sporting event in the history of the state of Oregon, outside of maybe like Trailblazers, NBA championship series stuff back in the Bill Walton days.
But even then, a lot of those NBA games were tape delayed.
Yeah.
This will not. This will be aired live.
Yes, live. 7:36 p.m. kickoff on NBC Eastern Time, not local. Local is 4:36. This is a game where the hype around this, the excitement around this, is about off the charts, because the Pac-12 was a great league and it was a great tradition, all kind of stuff. They just didn't have elite teams very often, and they didn't almost never had multiple elite teams. You had the Pete Carroll USC teams, and then they got bad, and then you had the Chip Kelly Oregon teams, and then they got bad. And you've had kind of on and off teams here and there, but it is not a league that's had a bunch of top 5 matchups. So a number 2 versus number 3, a very unique and exciting event. I think this is one that Ohio State fans maybe take for granted, but it seems to happen to Ohio State once every year or two at this point. But sport-wide, these games just don't come around that often.
Was the Ohio State-Michigan game 2 versus 3 last year, except it was Ohio State that was the 3?
That sounds right.
But I assume there've been some top 5 matchups in the last couple of decades, but it's the name Ohio State is also a very big thing. This would be a big game if Ohio State was ranked 16th in the nation. The idea of getting Ohio State here and having a really good chance to beat them, especially if they weren't as strong as they are now. Still, nobody here would care. They would just want to beat Ohio State. They have a little bit of ownership now after walking into Ohio Stadium in 2021 and running through the Buckeyes that year. We know some of the Buckeyes still remember that game, having talked to them about it this week, or tried to talk to some of them about it this week, and not having a lot of luck with some of the players because it's not a good memory, and they're looking to exact a little bit of revenge. But the people, campus we were on campus a little bit on Friday, plenty of green, out and about town. A lot of seeing some Ohio State fans walking around as well, saying hello to Tom, saying, "Hey Tom, tell Tony hello." I can't wait to just experience this entire thing. We've been talking about this for months and looking forward to it for years, literal years, and now we're here. And I hope it lives up to everything that everybody's hoping for.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a charge just walking up to the stadium earlier today. It's one of those places you've seen on TV for a million years, and you've seen big games and big moments happen there. Very unique venue, set kind of in the woods in a way. It's in the middle of a city, but also it doesn't feel like it's in the middle of a city. Very unique place inside as well. Really looking forward to seeing a game. Should be a great atmosphere. Buckeyes will be at full strength, it seems, and you certainly hope that the Oregon Ducks are as close to full strength as possible as well. Our team is going to be at full strength. Tony, Kevin, and I will be there covering things all day long from Eugene. We'll have some pregame reporting. We have all sorts of reporting, obviously, during the game and after the game, and then our full postgame show usually starts a minute or two before the game ends, so make sure you are on youtube.com/BuckeyeHuddle. If you are not subscribed, well, make sure you are subscribed there. Make sure you hit that bell, because there is going to be a whole lot to talk about. No matter how, I don't know which way there's more to talk about. If it's a win for Ohio State or a loss for Ohio State. But either way, it's going to be an absolute banger of a football game with some major stakes for the postseason, major stakes for the Big Ten championship race, and should just be a really fun football game. So really looking forward to that. Hope you guys can join us after the game for that full post-game coverage. We'll have plenty of coverage throughout the day as well. There's going to be a lot of stuff to look at around campus. I'm hoping to get a video walking around the Oregon campus, because again, it's a really pretty and very unique kind of setting in college football. So we'll try and capture as much of that as we can for you. Have that for you at BuckeyeHuddle.com and youtube.com/BuckeyeHuddle a little later on today. Thank you guys all for joining us, and we'll talk to you a little later on.